Let's do this. Hello guys and welcome to the dojo. Today we are going to do an aim workshop in the workshop of Overwatch. So if you are here and watching our stream, you are hereby invited to join our Discord. We have a workshop join us channel that you can visit. I'm just going to hop back with the guys who are already here. So I started the stream and did an intro as well. We are going to wait a few more minutes and then we can just hop in to the workshop.
And just hop in. And we have to do we go into NA or EU?
NA.
NA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, dude. Nah.
Why not?
Bruh. I don't know. Don't listen to the Hobbit. He's silly.
Hello, positive attitude.
Yeah. Witchu! My mercy buddy.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, son. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us today. So, the idea is really just to go hands-on with aiming related questions. I'm not going to talk a lot like I am used to talk in the previous ones, so we are just going to load it up and hop into a workshop.
Into the workshop.
Yep. So, I'm not sharing the screen on Discord, but you can see the stream if you want to see some code. I just wrote a little workshop and I should be able to export this.
Hey, what did I miss?
We're about ready to start,
Not
boyo.
much. Yep. I'm just going
how do I
to
join?
set up.
We'll need your battle tag.
Okay,
Or
where
you
can I
have
post
to-
that?
You can put that in like general chat.
Cool.
Ooh, that was like a skill shot right there. I'm not gonna lie. The person just kind of like faded through and came. Okay.
Oh, I have alien added. I didn't know.
Okay, yeah. Just hop onto his, and then I'll add budget Kefri here. Hey, stop that.
The code is this one.
Yep. Okay, sent you an invitation light.
Alright.
And so once I get into the server that Alien has set up, you'll just follow me in, or I'll have you in there. Okay, looks like Baggins already left. Hold up, everybody. Oh, Alien is there. I'm going to join his game.
Nice.
I'm here. And then Light, you should be able to...
Yeah, I just
yep,
joined.
there you are. Okay, I think that's everybody that's in the chat right now. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, that's plenty, to be honest, because I prepared for 6 players at a time. So, okay, the idea is going to be for this workshop. If you have any questions regarding aiming, then you feel free to ask, like usual. But I just made a little teeny tiny mod that has some bots moving around, strafing right to the left and then going 80-80 pattern, crouching, jumping, etc. So the purpose is, if you have any questions regarding whether your sensitivity is too high or too low, if you are missing too much and feel like you should do better, you have difficulty shooting people in the face up close or from a far distance, then we should be able to work on these mistakes somewhat. So the first setup is going to be this dumb workshop. I'm going to go to the spectator and just watch you.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Doing it again with you, dang it, boy.
So just watch you play, and if you have any questions, then feel free to ask, as I mentioned. This is actually a new thingy. And try to... Yeah, the Annas are going to spawn all around the place, so... Maybe didn't think this through. Okay, so there are these shiny thingies.
Oh.
Can you pick anything? I was only able to pick a tank.
Yeah,
some
I was
reason.
able to pick tank.
Maybe it's still set to the 222.
Maybe. Let me see that.
Hi.
So.
What's up?
What's this for?
Aiming. Doing hands-on aiming.
Yep.
Oh, thank God. Alright, I'm in.
Come.
So come
him.
join.
Yeah.
Shoot your battle tag in the general chat, and I'll add you, and then you can join our custom. I'm gonna sit here and continually die now, and I blame you.
No,
Oh.
it's not really working. Okay, I'm just going to look up a different one quickly.
Imagine alien hacking into a multitude of servers. It's a great thing.
Not really. Just inputting some codes.
Alright, I put my thing in the general.
Got it. Working on it. Bloop. 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 Paste. Send request. Okay. Invitation was sent by me.
Nice.
Okay.
No one
7.
can hide. Who is this one?
I don't know.
So-
We're very...
This is the aim arena. If any of you.
Oh, it's third person.
No, not until you drop. Until
Oh.
you drop.
Yeah.
The people I mostly play that require aiming is McCree.
Oh no.
Technically, everyone requires aiming, but like McCree's the one hit scan that I play a lot. So I guess I'll work on him.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to
What
try
is
to kill the bots here. And have maybe 4.
You're okay.
Ow.
How many bots
The
do we have
bots are
right
the
now?
widows. I have no idea. I'm rolling away. Yeah.
Okay, banning all the bots. Go up to 5.
Ooh.
Boop, 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 boop.
And let's have Tracer, Genji, and Lucio. Does this work?
I guess.
Is that a Lucio bot? No.
No, I think that's
I
one
mean-
of us.
I mean, I'm a bot, but
Sorry about that. Still have to set this up. So how do I spawn the bots?
I'm sorry with you.
Don't worry. I'll pick a different hero. Oh, there.
Torb.
I'm just trying to live my Torby life, okay?
Torb. I'm sorry.
Just trying to live my Torby life. Yeah, it's not working out. I heard another... Oh, man, I died. Okay. Obviously, this Torb life is not working, so Torb can go switch now.
Okay, we have bots. Cool.
Okay.
So, yeah. So you should just play around. I'm just going to go to spectate and going to call your names if anyone has any questions or if I see anything. And if anyone wants to join me in spectator, that's also possible.
Okay.
I would love if you could spectate me because I've recently changed my sense because I learned that I actually can't aim with the sense that I'm playing at, or that I was playing at, and so I lowered it recently, and so actually I don't think I have it changed on this account. One sec. Yeah, there we go.
So Twitchy Marine, if you want to participate in the aiming workshop here, just shoot your battle tag in Discord in the general chat, and I'll add you in.
Awesome, thank you.
No problem. Let me know when you post it, and I'll just sit here and die continuously until you're in.
So,
Dang it, Witchu, I'm so sorry.
who was talking before?
I was talking to the Lucy player, Charizard.
Charizard.
Alright.
No, no, not Witchu again! Oh no!
Trying to
Stop that.
find you.
Stop!
With Lucio?
Yeah, I'm
Hi.
playing Lucio.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So So looking at you right now, I'm just going to lower the sound in game a bit. Okay, so what kind of questions do you have, if anything?
I just need to find the
Okay,
right
getting you
sense
in,
because
Twitchy.
the problem that I'm running into is that I'm just not able to aim at higher senses, which is
Send
what I
your
was running
request,
at
Twitchy.
before.
Yeah, I got it.
And my sense is already pretty high. I play with very minimal movements sometimes, but I changed it and I lowered it.
Okay,
I just need to find the.
How about you?
Finally.
so
my God.
usually when we are talking about sensitivity and finding sensitivity, there's a method called PSA, which is kind of popular for finding the perfect sensitivity. Usually
Okay.
what I recommend is just go with the DPI that you would love to use in the operating system. So if you have a high resolution, if you have multiple monitors, I would recommend going with a high DPI. Other ways, just find out what is working for you. And then for the sensitivity, the method I mentioned, the PSA, is basically helping you to. So first of all, you start by placing the mouse to the left side of your mouse pad, and
Okay.
you should be able to do a 360 with one swipe of the mouse.
Like
Do-do-do.
this.
Yeah, but
Falco, if you want to join the aim, shoot your
you mean, like-
gamer tag in the general chat.
You mean to the right, like that?
yeah, all the way, or to the right or to the left. Really doesn't matter.
Okay.
Not just a 180, but a 360 from the left side to the right side. So that's the basic. And then you figure
Okay.
out this is going to be the base sensitivity, and you want to adjust it until you can do this like from the left side to the right side and do
Until I-
360.
Until I can get a full like exact 360 from where I'm aiming to
Yeah,
where I'm going.
Just
That-
right back to the same point where you started.
Oh, okay.
So full
Interesting.
spin, and that's the basic thing that you want to have, and then you write it down. And there's a tool that can help you finding the right values, which gives you a low number and a high number. So, for example, you found that you have a base sensitivity of 2 after you did this 360 thingy. Then you can set it to the suggested low sensitivity, and then set it to the suggested high sensitivity, and try to get a feeling
Request
about
was sent, Falco.
the new numbers. And you do that
Okay.
again and again and again and again, and it's gradually going to get closer to the sensitivity that you should be feeling comfortable with.
Can
Now-
you repeat the process again?
I'm going to send you a written article about it because that's easier, but
Okay.
these are basically the steps. Anyone here use the PSA method before?
Yeah,
Nope.
I have.
Are you happy with what you have?
I changed it a while ago. Just like something more basic.
Changed it
I felt
to
that it was too low for me.
too low, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so finding the sensitivity, that's the basic thing that you can do. There is not a better method right now that I know about, which is so like methodology, like it's a methodology that you can try. If you just want to find the sensitivity by yourself, you can experiment around and get a feel about what you can do and stuff like that. So I posted the link in the general chat and also to the stream. But that's the idea. And then there's a site which lists all the pro gamer sensitivity, which can give you a good idea about how and what kind of DPI they are using, what kind of mouse they are playing with, and stuff like that. So that's a good thing to play around with and check if you are maybe a bit too low or a bit too high.
Okay. Like for my hero.
Yeah.
You win, with you. You win.
So finding the sensitivity means that you are going to have to experiment around and get a good feel about what you are doing and what is comfortable for you. And after changing the sensitivity, it might feel like you are really not hitting anything, so you have to just keep working on it. And basically that's it. So it's a lot of practice after you find a good sensitivity, and of course learning about the different styles of aiming and getting more and more experience with them. Okay, who's next?
I'm gonna say nose goes. Ain't me.
I can go next, Twitchy.
Okay.
Ah! I just want to change my hero.
Just press F.
Oh, just press F? I don't have to go here to this stupid corner? Oh.
Oh.
You are on Widow,
Aw.
right?
Yes, I am.
Can't seem to find you for some reason. Ah, okay, here you are. Cool. So, any questions?
I guess, like, so if I do the PSA method and I have it kind of where I could do a 360 with the full length of the mouse pad, do I just kind of grind that aim out and eventually get it to where it feels good? Because I feel like no matter how much I play with Widow, I'm always just, I don't know. I feel like I'm still missing the same kinds of shots over and over again. I'm not really sure how to work.
Okay, just play around a little bit. I'm going to look at how you plant your crosshair and stuff like that, and what you are doing.
Sorry, with you.
No.
Oh, okay, Baggins. Oh, okay, peoples. In these stupid, like, whatever check marks they are. Ow, my face.
Bro, stop
Fair
getting
enough.
kills.
Okay, so how would you describe the aiming style that you have? That's always a good thing to talk about. Anything that
flick.
you, yeah, anything that you do like consciously that you practiced?
I just try to keep wherever, I guess if I'm coming around a corner or something, or when I'm about to aim, I try to keep the crosshairs kind of generally where I think that person's going to be, and then I just try to do like a short flick onto whoever I'm shooting at.
Okay, why do you do this flick?
I think it was because I was watching some, videos when I was first starting out, how to play. I think specifically it was like Kefri or something.
Yep.
And he was talking about like doing like short flicks to get onto heads, just so you kind of get that muscle memory down of like the distance it takes to flick to a certain area, and then kind of getting that used.
Yeah. Okay. So when we are taking aim and when we are trying to hit a target, there are a lot of things going on that we have to pay attention to. And flicks are best used for any kind of movement which is not predictable. I see that you miss some of your shots because you try to flick in a situation when flicking isn't really necessary. Like the enemy is moving and strafing toward a set position. Like the McCree you are now aiming at is backing off because he's trying to kill a different target. And any kind of unpredictable movement, like when he starts backing off and he steps forward, then you have to compensate and you have to flick because you need to hit someone who was predictable before and now he's changing directions. But if you feel like someone is really predictable because they are low, for example, and going for a health pack or coming around the corner or anything like that, flicking can actually throw you off and you might miss a lot of your shots because you want to overdo something that's not necessary in that situation.
That's interesting. That's actually really good to know. I thought it was just like kind of a one size fits all situation thing, but that.
Yeah, it can be used because like you get the feeling about it, and it is easier for pro players because they spend a lot of time on aiming, and then they can do this like one size fits all thing. But if you don't have all the time of the world to work on your aim, it's better to try to rely on more reliable solutions, like something that's easier, because you are going to, like, on a given day start playing and then you start getting tired, and it's not that easy to do the flicks all the time because they are mechanically demanding, whereas just relying on predictions and trying to rely on plans and other kinds of aiming styles can give you the edge.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So if they're not paying attention to me, they're not 80 strafing or whatever, and there's no need for me to flick. I could take my time and kind of aim on it, do that, and if I need to, then
Yes.
switch on to that style.
That's right. Also, if they are doing some kind of 80-80 strafe, if you can get a good feeling about the rhythm they are doing, you can also try to predict that, and you don't necessarily have to flick. You can also just plant the crosshair and wait for them to dodge into it, and then just hit the button.
Gotcha.
It gives you a quicker reaction time.
I have 36 bullets. That's why it's taking so long to reload. Okay.
Oh.
I did not know this.
Okay, anything else?
That's all I had. Unless you see anything else that you think is a concern or something else.
I'm
you
just
think I
going
should
to
work.
keep watching a bit.
Stop it, Baggins. No, Pat. This is no bueno. I can't handle this.
It actually looks quite decent, to be honest.
My god, I'm second place. What?
GG, mate.
Yeah, I feel like it's solid. Nice
Thank you.
aiming there. Ew, I didn't know you can get there.
I didn't know I could get there either.
Okay, who's next?
I have returned.
Welcome back. Okay.
Beep.
Let it happen!
Okay,
No. No, it's not happening.
so I'm watching your video. Talk more. Any questions?
Not again.
No.
More consistent. Okay. Yeah, consistency is hard. One of the harder things to achieve in this game.
Oh, okay. I don't like this aiming mode. Doesn't let me go into turret form. It's not cool.
I'm watching your aim, so just keep doing what you are doing. Trying to figure out what's going on here.
Ah, I don't have a hook.
Okay, one thing I can see is you might have to think about, think about different hero models, because this game is different than the traditional FPS games in a sense that every hero has a different hitbox. Also the critical hitbox and the basic hitbox that we are talking about. So I feel like you are missing some of your shots because you don't have a good grasp on which hero, how do you need to aim against different heroes. Like Torbjorn is really small, and how do you find the best spot to aim at, stuff like that. Another thing that I can notice is that we just talked about flicks and the importance of flicks and how you want to use them. I feel like you are taking a little bit too much time to try to carefully aim at a target, and you are missing your shots because they are reacting quicker than you can react to them. And this is exactly the situation why flicks are, where flicks are really useful, because you can't predict exactly what the enemy is going to do. And instead of taking too much time to carefully try to aim and try to rely on your ability to predict them, you just flick into their general direction. This is why it's really important to know the hitboxes of the models, because you want to be able to flick towards their kind of like their neck, so to try to hit a good headshot. And you need to get really good at hitting your mouse button right above their heads. This is basically what is flicking. So good solid movement towards the enemy's critical spot, what you want to try to hit, and then just pushing the mouse. And instead of trying to carefully aim, like here you miss 2 shots on the Widow because you're trying to aim really carefully to the head. And instead of that, you should really rely on your fine mechanics, your flick. which needs to be learned and time needs to be invested, because this is a fine mechanical skill, something that you can acquire with a time invested in it and with practice. So how you do this is, like, you scope in and you flick towards the enemy's critical spot and try to release instead of trying to track them. So try to do that more actively. We'd love to see.
My wrist hurts so bad.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, why are both the Genji bots on me? I don't get this. How's bullying? The bots are bullying.
And the Tracer is the one bullying me.
Unhinged Stitch, if you want to join in the aim workshop, just shoot me your battle tag in the general chat.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Me,
That was a nice one. Good job. Just looking at.
I just DM'd you, Tauntaun.
Okie dokie. Meow.
Oh.
Copy. Ba-do-ba-do. Boop.
All right. Any other questions? I feel like you should really try to focus on learning the flicks.
Invitation
and
sent.
learning to try to be a little bit more quicker with taking the shots.
Who is that for specifically?
This is for Falcomore. Falcomore. Hopefully saying that right. Pronunciation is not my thing. So who's next?
You could try me, Soul of Faith.
Soul of Faith.
No,
My aim's really messy, but
Okay, I'm looking at you
Sometimes,
right
like-
now.
Go away with your tiny ass edit box.
Yeah, yeet.
Oh my.
So you started talking about the aim of yours?
Did you make it in, Stitch?
What's that?
Or did you make it
I
in?
feel like I don't fire when I'm on target.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you're in the match.
No, I'm still spectating from the bottom.
Okay, that's a interesting thing.
Mm-hmm. Is it not letting you in?
I guess not.
I can sort of see outlines of people with names, but I'm in that spawn room, but
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's in spectators with you, Alien. If you just want to swap him over.
Yep. You should be good.
and should I just pick anyone? Sorry, I'm late.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
good.
We're just going over and asking people about their aim, and I'm trying to, like, you guys just play around, and I'm trying to watch the aim and give you tips on what you need to do better. If you have any specific questions, and think about them. Now I'm watching Soul of Fate, who just said that he has a hard time hitting the enemies when the crosshair is over them, something like that.
Is this headshot only, or
No.
No, it's not.
okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what you mean. Do you play from EU?
Huh?
Do you play from EU? Sometimes it Twitch.
No, I'm on the American servers.
Okay. Might be on my end. Sometimes I see some twitching movements. Okay, so you are keeping on the targets nicely, but as you said, sometimes you are over and sometimes you are under aiming a bit.
Like sometimes I can stay on really well, and then other times I won't be able to hit anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay, so you should generally try to aim to the upper body neck area if possible, even if they move around. That's one thing. Can I help?
You know, that's kind of cheating.
I didn't know it was gonna happen. You don't need to be mad, bro. Okay, you don't need to be mad. I'm just playing the video game. Okay. And if I get to have my bongos before you ever have your ultimates, that's not my problem. That's just the way of the world.
Okay.
Oh, nice shot.
I mean, you are hitting your shots, but yeah, for example, some of those missing. It might be because of your movement. You are moving around a lot. I'm not exactly sure how do you feel about your ability to
Come on, Witcher, I
compensate
don't want
for
to do
your
this.
own
Don't
movement.
do this.
No.
No. Why, Witcher? Why? Fine, I'll swap. I'll swap you monsters.
So, because you kind of want to keep moving and aiming at the same time, sometimes the left hand messes up what the right hand does. Do you feel that's true, or am I really...
I mean, sometimes when I move around, it obviously moves my crosshair a bit. And I feel like I independently aim with my right hand and not think about the movement with my left.
Okay.
So like, if I'm trying to aim, I'll try to follow the target, but then I'll keep moving around side to side, strafing anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, cheaters.
Because from what I'm seeing right now, those tiny misses around the enemy,
Jeez.
they are happening when you are moving around. And
Now, how am I supposed to practice my
especially-
tracking?
Especially when you are changing directions, it feels like.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, try to go lower on the Hanzo, for example. So if you keep too high, you are going to miss. A lot of people don't jump, they usually crouch, and you want to be able to compensate for that more.
Werg, if you want to join the AIM workshop we're doing right now, just shoot me your battle tag in the general chat or in the DM.
Even if you don't hit headshots, because you are not aiming at the top of the head, you should be able to do more damage on the long run. And then you, of course, want to try to go for the critical hits as much as you can, but hitting target is more important, and especially in a team setting. In a free-for-all, it's like you are on your own and you want to kill your own targets, but in a com game, you just want to make sure that you do as much damage as you can.
I'm not that good with you. You should be able to kill me. It's just okay. See, like it didn't even matter. Didn't even matter.
I feel I'm doing pretty good considering what I usually play.
Yes,
So,
you're doing great for
do
Mercy.
these help? Do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay. Feel free to, if you are unsure or if I wasn't able to really help. Like, it's not that easy to figure out what's going on. From what I can see, I can tell you these things. So, who's the next one?
Okay.
Next one? With questions?
Oh.
Ow.
Anybody?
I mean, I'm a main tank player, so I'm not really concerned about my aim.
Falcomore was asking
Thursday,
about
man.
Tracer.
Yeah,
Sure.
Falcomore. Falcomore?
Falcomore, yeah.
Falcomore.
Okay, so
Falcomore.
Tracer is different from what we have seen, because you are reliant on tracking and keeping distance at the optimal range, basically.
Ow.
I'm
With
sorry.
you. No, you're not.
I want to throw my ult.
You kind of want to go closer with Tracer if you can do so. Like, unless you are being focused by a McCree or a really good Hanzo, you really should get in and close to the enemies to be able to hit all the shots. You are aiming at the neck to head level, which is nice. As far as I can see, you are keeping on the targets kind of nicely. When they are changing their movement, you are not hitting as many shots, but that's like natural. That's when like you are flicking only at those moments with Tracer. Otherwise, you are just tracking. One thing that you can do is you can try to anticipate when the enemy stops their movement and changes directions. Usually, they have a set of rhythm that you can read if you are doing that well. So they are getting at a certain distance from you, then it's really likely that they are going to change their patterns because they don't want to be predictable, they don't want to move in a straight path. So if they are far enough from you, you can expect them to change. And you are hitting some of your shots really nicely, like I saw a lot of one clips here. So it's not bad at all. Does that make sense? Regarding the prediction, keeping to the head? Okay, cool. Anybody else?
Ah, jeez. I killed Baggins. How?
So... who's here? We didn't talk about.
Oh. Oh.
Stitch, are you here?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
Any questions?
I mean, no specific ones. I'm pretty terrible, but but I mean, like, you know, I tend to play a lot of Moira, so
Okay.
Moira life.
I've got the idiot leash to help me.
Hey, there you go, mate. Also, don't forget those skill orbs. Don't discount those. Don't discount those. No. I only get... Whee! Okay. Oh yeah, just shoot the Symmetra that's just sliding around. Yeah. Lit, everybody, lit.
So, from what I can see on you, Stitch, is your sensitivity might be a little bit too low, but that's just a hunch. I feel like you are moving a little bit slowly, and then when you throw your nade under yourself and try to get back to aiming, it's especially slow to my taste. Like, it might just be you are running out of space, your mousepad is not big enough, something like that. But you thrown the nade under you, and then you try to reacquire a target, and that was kind of visibly slow. So that's why I'm saying that it might be a little bit too low of a sensitivity that you have.
I believe in you, with you.
So if I go to the sensitivity is 3.5.
Hi, Tom.
The DPI?
Let me pull that up. I think it's around 1400, maybe 1000. Let me see. Performance here.
Oh,
1000.
Stop regenning your health, Baggins.
Yeah, that's not too low, actually. So...
Although, wait, it says that's weird. Hold on. Yeah, no, it's 1000. That's right.
Hi, Baggins.
You know, if I had a deflect, you'd be screwed. Just saying.
Oh, you're a Genji now.
I'm just going to look at the calculator.
Oh.
Yeah, 3.
I'm just trying to reload.
No
Doesn't
reload.
carry over.
3.5.
The epic Genji duel.
Yeah, so that's a tiny bit lower than the general one, which is 36.4 centimeter per 360. Yours is 39, so not much of a difference. It might just be a personal thing, so it's not too low or anything like that.
I like how I keep trying to press E and do something, and it doesn't do it.
5, just see what it feels like.
Yeah, you can try to increase it a little bit. and
Let's
see
see.
if you can acquire the targets a little bit better. Because as far as I can see from these few shots, you might be, at least from the hip shots, you might be under aiming a little bit. So you are not
Okay.
able to keep up with the target's movement, and increasing it just by a tad bit might help.
All right, so this is 4.5. Let's see if that changes anything here. I don't know where I am here. All right.
I'm so close to my ult.
This is a little bit easier, actually. Ooh. Ha!
I'm sorry, Stitch.
No, it's...
Yeah,
That's right. I killed myself, Baggins, not you.
that
Yeah, you got help from Witchu.
that was a lot clearer. Like the nade and back to aiming, a lot faster as well.
So that made a difference, huh? All right.
Yeah. At least from these few seconds that I can see. The really important thing is that you feel better about it, and if you do, then you can like play around the sensitivity, increase it a bit or lower it a bit to find the best one that you have. When someone is really close to you, it's not recommended to try to scope them, because scoping and aiming up and down, like against a Genji who is trying to jump you, it's really hard. Like, we are not really used to up and down aiming. Usually it's better for us to aim left and right. And if you have to hold the right click, the scope, and aim like that, it's going to be a little bit slower unless you have a 1-to-1 zoom to real sensitivity. So generally just try to go with a hip against a Genji or something like that, because you should be able to hit them. The travel distance is not that far, so it's easier.
What should my scope sensitivity be? Because I know that's a little bit different.
Yeah, so there are really different schools about that. The scope sensitivity, some play it to 1-1 setting, like the sensitivity is the same as the real sensitivity in the scope.
Okay.
But there are some others, like for example, I personally don't do it like that, because I have been playing Call of Duty back in the day, like Call of Duty 2, and the sensitivity mapping was different, and I got used to that. If you get used to some kind of sensitivity and you have to change it, then you kind of need to relearn a lot of things. So unless you are not really experienced, or you're really having a lot of issues with your aim, you shouldn't change it. But you can like set it to a 1-1 ratio.
Right now it says relative aim sensitivity while zoomed is 38.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure about the numbers that you have to have for a 1-1 ratio, but if you search it on Reddit for Ana, then you should be able to find it.
Okay.
And just try it out. Because 1-1 means that you don't have to, like, it's different because the field of view in a scope is lower than in the game without a scope. So your vision is going to be morphed and transformed a little bit, but sometimes the same sensitivity can help in the scope if you are really unable to hit the shots. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
I just need to do it enough, I think.
Yeah, from this point it's just practice. Figuring out, then practicing. Basically, that's how you find the best kind of aim that you have. So, anybody else?
Well, I would like to ask something.
Sure, go ahead.
I have issues with hit scan.
Okay.
I can't aim right when I'm using a hit scan, but I'm way better with projectiles.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's why I feel. That's how I feel. Is there something I can do to improve my aim, specifically with hit scan, or just practice?
Can you show me your hit scan aim? I'm looking at the hands right now.
Just give me a second. I'm first. Yay. I'm sorry. I don't usually play DPS, so this is surprising. Let's see, something like Widow, for example. I feel like I try to predict where the person is going to be, as I usually do with projectiles, but that doesn't translate very well. Everyone's trying to kill me. Ah.
Yeah, you are kind of trying to track your targets, spending a lot of time on adjusting your aim. So when you're aiming with a projectile, you can depend on the travel speed, and you have to be good at predicting where the enemy is going to be when the projectile hits them. With hit scan, you should really be quick when you are acquiring a target, and you should really be quick when you are firing at them. So it's different because instead of waiting and trying to predict where they are going to be, you need to be really good at reacting to what they are doing right now and trying to hit them. So from what I can see, and especially on the scoped shots here with Widow, is when you have the initial crosshair placement right, like really close to the enemy, and you don't have to track a lot, you are able to hit your shots. But when you start tracking the enemy, and when you start figuring out where they want to be and compensating for their movement, then you are not really hitting your shots.
Jesus.
That's what I can see. To help with this is really to try to get the initial crosshair closer. So when you are taking the scope up, be closer to the enemies, and then work on flicks. As we discussed previously, flicks are really important in situations where you can't rely on your tracking skills.
No.
That was a nice dodge. Like, those shots can be really easy if you don't try to carefully place the crosshair over the enemy, but you just drag it in their direction and rely on your reaction time to be able to hit the mouse button at the right time.
Oh.
So, are these walls fake? Like, every time I hide behind one, it just
Yes.
pushes me back out.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they're fake.
That's nice. It's great. False sense of security.
Yeah, I was trying to hide behind one a while ago.
Any remarks, comments, follow-up questions on that, Micho?
No, but I'm trying to simulate the information.
So basically, the movement that you want to try is to get in the scope, wait a bit until it charges up, and then like drag really quickly towards the enemy and try to hit the button when the crosshair is over them. That's basically flicking.
Okay.
Instead of trying to keep the crosshair on them, you just need to learn how to like that. Yeah, drag the mouse in a straight line without, like, you are now dragging it upwards and downwards. It's really shaking a bit too much. You should try to drag it in a straight line towards the enemy's neck to head.
Oh my god. That was disturbing. Oh.
Yeah, and that's what you need to practice. Like, sometimes when you are over aiming, then you need to make smaller movements. That's what you need to pay attention to when you are practicing flicks. What kind of, like, you go over, you should make a smaller movement. You go under, you don't reach the target, you should make a bigger movement. And that is the movement that you need to learn. And that's what you need to work on.
Okay. Changing my sensitivity will improve, or will do something for me? Or should I stay with what I feel comfortable right now?
think like your sensitivity, I don't see anything like you're aiming too slowly or too quickly. I feel like it's the technique that's missing. So
Okay.
I would say
Yeah,
that the
I'm using
sensitivity
the
is good.
stock sensitivity.
Mhm.
I usually get used to the general settings in games,
Mhm.
so I don't change much of it. Same
Okay.
with my mouse.
Okay. I mean, if you look at the sensitivity and DPI, you can tell that to me, but it really is like, it feels like the technique, and if you, yeah, it might be a little bit too high, but like it's a good idea to play around the sensitivity with the sensitivity. You might be able to figure out that you have been playing it too, like on a too high setting or too low. But right now it's more about the technique for you.
Okay, thank you.
You are really welcome. Anybody else with questions?
Ow, my face.
So
Is that a question?
Might need to go see a surgeon. I don't know. Golly, gee willik.
budget Capri here.
Yes, that is the only soldier on the map right now.
On voice.
I don't know if he's still in voice. It's an excellent question. Ow, my face again.
Town Baggins. Do you guys want some?
Wow.
Oh.
I mean, you're not gonna like what I do, but that's no. My aim is horrendous as it is.
Okay, then. I am then just going to jump in.
Yeah, come in and wreck us all, please. That's what I want in my life.
I have a 150 ping, so that's not really something that usually play with. So just going to go ahead and look at the streams questions. I didn't pay attention to that. Okay, no questions there, fortunately.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm guessing Light didn't have any questions, which I believe is budget.
Huh?
Well, Alien was asking if you wanted to have any like questions or something about your aim.
I mean, it's just overall trash.
You can't use my excuse. That's not fair. Wow. Okay, Alien. I see how you are. Stop it. Bad Alien. Bad Alien. Bad Alien.
Come to me.
No, I don't want to. No. Oh, dang it. Oh, man. I did it. Oh, no, you're not. Why aren't you staying asleep? I needed the safety of my sleep. What the fuck is going on?
So I can't really hit my shots with 160 ping now. Do we have any other questions? Aiming related or otherwise?
Do you have any drills or anything that you would recommend for, like, I don't know, warming up and then just consistently practicing to get better at aiming?
Yeah. So warming up every day before you get into the game, it's really helpful, whatever you do. So you can do free-for-all, you can do like any kind of arcade or even against bots or something like that. It's really helpful because it gets you into the mood of like getting the rust off and stuff like that, getting the mood into the mood of playing. There's no specific warm-up that I can recommend. It's really personal. Some go into the training ground and just hit flicks. Some go against bots. Some go try hard free-for-all for 1 or 2 matches.
I see you.
These are all helpful.
I see you.
Regarding the practice, though, what I would recommend is depends on what you want to do. Like the aiming in Overwatch is really not just placing the crosshair and controlling the mouse and stuff like that. It comes down to prediction, it comes down to pressure, positioning, movement, and a lot of other stuff. So when you're practicing your aim, you should try to have a goal of what you are working on and try to figure out what's the best way to practice that aspect of aiming.
Was that a pity death, Baggins?
Okay. So like kind
Maybe
of segment whatever the specific thing is that you're trying to work on, and then focus on that.
Yeah. And try to find the best environment to work on that. So, for example, if you want to be able to hit your shots against an enemy Widowmaker in a comp game, that means that you are going to be under pressure. You are going to
you snuck up on
set up against a Widow who might have an understanding of where you are coming from and stuff like that. So you are not just working on your aim, but you are also working on a specific matchup. For this example, going tryhard Widow custom headshot only games can be a really nice improvement, because you are working on the raw aiming as well as positioning against other Widowmaker players and stuff like that. It might not be a good example to do this, for example, what we are doing right now for that specific training. Then again, if you are working on a basic stuff, like we were talking about flicking here and stuff like that. If you're working on something like that, it might actually be beneficial to work against bots in a setting where you are not being under pressure, because you are working on a fundamental thing and you are trying to eliminate as much noise as you can. And if you can do so, then you can really focus on that single aspect of your aim. So I guess the hard part is figuring out what you are trying to work on.
Okay. I feel like my even if I warm up and I'm playing like Widow Deathmatch or something, I feel like I'm actually hitting my shots there. When I go to get into a game, I guess my game sense, I play main tank, by the way, for most of my stuff. So like I have a lot of game sense for main tank and support, but when it comes to DPS, like I don't know when to apply pressure and like how to use Widow in certain situations. Like, do you have any resources? This isn't aim specific, but resources on how to kind of use those characters in those situations?
I would recommend going, and there are guides about that. I don't think there is much on the dojo, but there are guides about how to work with specific heroes, what kind of mindset should you be in when you're playing that, and stuff like that. But one thing I usually recommend when you're trying to learn how to work with a hero is to try to go and watch high-level streamers, or go into the replay mode of Overwatch League and find a match where they are playing that hero that you are trying to watch. Because that might be the best, because they are working in a team setting. So you should get a good idea about how they behave, what kind of targets they are trying to kill, and where they are positioning themselves, and try to learn by example. Anything that you do, any kind of tutorial that you are watching and getting into will require you to play eventually, and start testing out the ideas that you figure out.
I feel like there's just so much information out there. Sometimes it's hard to like be like one will tell you one thing, one will tell the other.
Yeah, that's
which
right.
ones are actually.
You know, I just want to get one hammer kill on Alien, guys. All you have to do is just get it to where I can get that, please, and thank you. That's all I ask for.
Not much. Oh.
You want me to bring him low for you and then leave from you to pick up the kill?
Ain't none of you gonna do that.
Nope.
I tried, but I hit a headshot instead.
Doesn't matter, my freaking cooldowns don't reset. I can't even find them.
Sorry.
I killed him, sorry.
Any other questions?
There, he's low.
No.
No.
Oh my god.
No questions.
Jeez, reloading those 36 rounds in an Ash's clip takes eternity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, brutal.
It's a brutal life.
Okay. Do we have no other questions regarding gaming?
No, I think
We are fine then. Okay, cool. So that was the workshop then. We can stay here and play around. Thank you for participating, and see you next week, I guess.
Thanks so much for
Yeah,
this.
thank you very much for doing this.
This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Reset! I can't touch him!
Yeah, I know.
That's a good ending.